So I feel like a bit of a fledgling in the co-production world. I've been working on the team for a year now, but previous to that, I had no idea about co-production. I was completely new to it. And so when I'm meeting my friends and family and telling them about my role, and they say, "What's that then?" And I have my kind of way that I explain what co-production is and what it means. And then what I really quite enjoy is once they kind of get that idea, it sparks a lot of really interesting conversation. Obviously, my friends are in all kinds of roles, in all kinds of positions, and I'm of the opinion, co-production can work in any industry, in any situation. But yeah, so my question for you is, how do you explain what co-production is to people that have never heard of it before?
It's tough. It's a tough question. That's like, how do you explain to a taxi driver or something like that? Sort of. Yeah, I mean, I think I usually sort of say, when the council's planning something, that I kind of like to say the difference between consultation and co-production. So consultation, I think, is if the council is planning something, they'll kind of like write up all their plans and sort of like they'll produce a document, and then they might go to a group of people, or they'll send something out. They'll say, "Hey guys, what do you think? What do you think of our plan? Isn't it great?" Basically, is what they're kind of, and they want you to sort of say, "Yes, it's great." Whereas co-production is really a completely different mindset from that, and in its purest sense, although this doesn't really often happen, is the council would go first to a group of people and say, "What's going on in your lives? What services are working well? What's not? How can we work together to solve some of the problems that you're having?" So I think that's what co-production is about. It's really, it's like working and learning together. And I mean, then I think the disability movement has a slogan, "Nothing about us without us." And I think that's a useful way of kind of understanding co-production as well. And I think in the future we'll probably think, wow, that was really strange that sort of professionals didn't involve citizens in developing services. We'll people in the future will think, God, was that? Did they really do that? Was that seems very...
I really hope so.
It seems very Victorian, and it's still here now in 2022. These kind of dregs of these, very, very, very stiff and rigid parts of society that haven't still not enveloped.
It's hard, isn't it? It's kind of, it's that idea of giving up that power, isn't it? And sharing it with people.
Yes,
and
indeed.
saying, well, actually, you've got just as much right to make decisions on this as we have, and share it, and just kind of letting go of that power to people. That must be.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the big differences between when, like, in the early days, you service user involvement, we were really, we were sort of like kind of like against the professionals in a way. We were sort of like, and there was a real sort of them and us, and so it was a bit more of a fight, really. But I think one of the great things about co-production is it's saying that all different kinds of expertise and knowledge should be valued equally, and that's a difference in that the professionals have. They have a certain expertise and knowledge and skills that are needed, as well as citizens, and it's about finding that balance and making sure there's a level playing field.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If you've got all this expertise but the wrong data, then your expertise can't ever produce what the data. If you had the right data being inputted, the outcome would be more relevant to the person who was being, the service was being built for, almost.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you can make some mistakes, because theory is not always, that's the problem with theories. They don't always work in practice.
Yeah.
I like that, Nat. It's like you only get out as good as what you put in.
Correct, yeah. So that's why it's great to work with us minions, because we're full of great ideas.
And the same concept, what you were saying, Pete, if they've already kind of made a plan and then ask people what they think, they've missed the point, haven't they? They've already made the outline of the decisions, perhaps.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. That's what somebody, a colleague from Scotland, a disabled man, is. He says if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. I quite like that.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Yeah. So, and that's that. Having something, doing with something, or having it done to you, isn't it?
Yeah.